Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of My Garage Roleplay. Right, so as you can see I have traveled a little bit this morning. It is very early, it's like only 7:30, and I'm actually here to have a look at a potential house that I would like to purchase for myself. So I have been in contact with the real estate agent and they said that the place is open. I am able to walk through the house and check out the building and pretty much see what it's all about. So all the doors are unlocked, so I'm just gonna have a look around. So we've got a little single car garage over here, and we also have a little bit of a workspace over here. It's not too big, and also we've got the main house over here, which will be a little bit more comfortable for us to stay in and sleep in, because we at least have a kitchen and a bathroom, which we do not have back at the barn. So I usually always have to run to the gas station if I need a toilet. So yeah, there's that. And out here we've got a nice little patio with a door that leads to our workshop. So yeah, this is quite spacious. It's not huge, but I think it's quite nice. It's very well built. The layout doesn't look too bad. So yeah, the reason why I'm actually property hunting is because the owner of the racetrack, he actually wants to buy the barn from us. He actually wants to buy us out because he needs the space for race cars over the weekends to park in. So yeah, that is the reason why I decided to start looking for property. Now this place is listed for $35,000. There might be some additional fees, you know, transfer costs and stuff like that, but yeah, I think we should be able to afford it. But that'll be pretty much most of our budget gone down the drain. So I'm going to be left with about $12,000 more or less after buying the property. So it's something I'm going to have to consider, but yeah, I think this is the next best move for us, and it's a little bit of an upgrade from our little barn all the way down there, which I actually noticed we've got a little gravel road that actually leads down to our current barn, which is just, if you come around here, see all the way down there is where our barn is. So it's quite far in the distance. So this is a little road that leads to there. So yeah, we might actually take it back there because we need to continue work on our Firebird, which we started working on in the last episode. So I did order all of the parts that I have that I need for it. So let me just close the door on the house over here, and then we can jump in our little NIV truck and see if we can make our way over there. I want to actually test out this track because I think it will make moving our stuff over here a little bit easier, because I've checked it, it's quite a little bit of a drive around to get to here. So yeah, I guess we'll have to test it out and see how well it goes. So let's make a little U-turn over here. Right, so let's embark on this little bit of a journey over here. So this has got four-wheel drive, so I think we should be fine. Just to know if it's going to be a wise decision to come down here or up here with a trailer loaded full of stuff, because obviously I need to start clearing out the barn and move all the stuff over to here. So he has offered me a little bit over $10,000 for our barn over there, which actually gives us a little bit of profit. So yeah, we bought it for $5,000 with the two Firebirds in it. So I think selling it for $10,000, it's not a bad offer actually. Okay, so here we are. So I'm just gonna park up here because I've got quite a bit of stuff. So let me show you guys what's going on in the shop over here. So I started clearing out a lot of the stuff, and if you look at the trailer outside, it's quite full of all sorts of junk and parts that I need to get rid of. So yeah, I was thinking of hanging on to the interior for the lad, and I've got a guy who's interested in the old Firebird parts, so I'm just waiting for him to get back to me. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that in the near future. And then obviously we do have got quite a bit of parts, as you can see over here. So the engine that I have here is actually the engine from the F100 that Uncle Richie bought. So this is the original engine from that truck. It is still in running condition, but I probably just need to service it a bit, because I've decided to not put an inline 6 in the Firebird. I've decided to go with a V8, so that is why I asked Uncle Richie if I can buy the engine from him. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a little bit more powerful to have a V8 in this thing rather than have an inline 6. So yeah, I did also speak about the paint job, so I'm going to send this in for a paint job, but it might actually not go to Uncle Richie, because my friend Tom, who owns the gas station, he actually bought the shop in the across the road from the gas station, just on the main island here. So he's the proud owner of Gremlin Autos or something. I haven't checked the sign yet, but he did change the sign on the shop. So yeah. Then I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to Mr. Trash Mammal, that is his icon over here, and his brother Matthew. They were kind enough to sponsor the interior for the second gen Firebird over here. So yeah, basically I popped a message on my Discord channel and they responded. They've got the interior for me, and yeah, one thing led to the next, and now I've got a full interior for this thing. So I've already installed the headliner, so that is done, and I've got some new front seats and also the door cards over here. I've decided to not replace the trunk part because you don't really see it as much, so that is fine. And yeah, further we've got the suspension parts we need for this, and also I found 3 of these wheels, the turbo cast wheels. So I actually fitted one already, so that is what that's going to look like. So yeah, I think that's going to come together very nicely. So I've got all of the parts that I need for it to get this thing fully assembled. We've got some more parts over there on the table for it. We've got a rear axle, we've got the replacement pedals that I need to put in, and also a brand new exhaust system. So yeah, that is going to come together very nicely. And then also, as you can see, we've got a interior for our little Lab Coupe that I also need to install. So that'll be going in this car hopefully this episode as well. So we will get to work on this, and I think we're going to start with the Firebird, obviously, because I would like to get this thing in a little bit of a running condition. So my plan is to pretty much get this engine in the car and just get it running so that we can drive it all the way home once we have got the house purchase sorted, because I want to try and vacate this barn as soon as possible so that we can get payment for this and get some more money back in our bank account. So yeah, I'm going to put you guys on a little bit of a time lapse, so just sit back, relax and enjoy. we've got our suspension all sorted out on this car, and we've got our tires aired up, and I have installed the engine. So I think we only need to do a little bit of fluids on this engine, as well as install our interior, the seats and the door cards. Then this thing should be, yeah, pretty much ready to start moving under its own power. So I'm pretty sure everything else is sorted out. We obviously have to install the exhaust still, so I might as well go ahead and do that now before I forget and blow our ears away once we get this thing started up. So yeah, I think let's get these exhausts fitted, and then yeah, it's done. So obviously we'll have to see if we can get this engine rebuilt, because I think it'll be running a little bit rough in my opinion. But I must say that time when I drove the F100 with this engine, it wasn't too bad. It was, you could have felt it was down on power, but at least it was still going. And we were able to tow the Lab Coupe back on the back of the trailer with it. So yeah, I don't think it's too bad. Alright, so let's get these door panels fitted. So just gonna see if I can get to these bolts. So they're a little bit hard to get by. There we go. I think I've got it. Alright, so yeah, I actually like the idea of red on red for this car. There we go. We've got a bolt over there, and we've got a bolt over there. That is sorted. Alright, let's get our passenger seat and get this bolted down. Alright, let's see if we can get our driver's seat taken out. Alright, so we've got 4 bolts. There we go. Alright, so this is pretty much junk. So that's probably where this is going to end up. So I'm just going to put it outside so that it's not in my way. And let's just grab our new seat, and then we'll see if we can get some oil in this engine. And hopefully it'll fire up. I think we actually need to put some gas in the tank. So luckily I do still have the jerry can filled with gas. Well, I think that was the reason why this car didn't want to start with the inline 6, because it actually ran out of gas. So that is definitely probably something we're gonna have to look at. Alright, so yeah, what do I want to do now? So I've got a little bit of a bad memory of what I need to do now. Oh yeah, fluids, that's where we were. Alright, so let's just put our extra wrench over there. So we're gonna grab some oil. Just open the cap first. Alright, so we'll take it off and we'll just pop it on here. And also, I'm not too sure how full those bottles of coolant are, because I think these are half bottles that was left from another vehicle that we did. I think from the Sheriff's Lad sedan and also the F100, so that is where this got from. So yeah, I'm just gonna top these fluids up and I will be right back. Alright, so there we have it. All of our fluids are topped off. So I've got the oil filled, and I've also got the brake fluid filled, and as well as the radiators. So that is sorted. So I did have enough coolant and oil. Luckily just enough oil, because the one bottle was nearly empty. So yeah, we've got oil, we've got brake fluid, we've got coolant in this thing. So I should be able to fire it up. Actually no, I lied. I didn't have all the coolant in, or the fluids in, because I still need to add the gas, which is in this jerry can. So let's quickly top this off. See if we can get some fuel in this thing, and then hopefully it'll fire up once I turn the key. Okay, so that is everything. So let's replace our fuel cap over here, and yeah, let's see if she wants to fire up. Alright, so it actually fires up quite easily. So I can proudly say that all my vehicles are basically running now. Although I don't know how well this thing is running. Let's give it a little bit of a test. Yeah, there's definitely a power loss. Alright, well, that's not too bad. At least she is moving under her own power, and I think we should be able to get this to a body shop or to Tom's shop so that he can start working on it for us. I still have to replace the dashboard because I do have the right dashboard for the car over here. I think it's still laying here on the corner. Yeah, we might as well actually do that while I'm at it. Let me also grab my air pump over here and just put it in the toolbox. And let's grab our screwdriver, this one, and see if we can get our correct dash fitted to the car. So it should be fairly easy. There's usually only 2 screws over here somewhere, so let me see if I can get to these. Almost. Okay, so that's 2 on that side. Let's go around the other side quickly. See if we can get this dashboard removed over here. There we go. This is the old dashboard, so we will probably dispose of this unless if we can find a buyer for all of these used parts that I'm taking off, but we'll see. Alright, so we are going to see if this dashboard will fit in the car. Yes, like a glove. Alright, so let's just see if we can screw these in. Alright, so there we go. That is our dashboard in on the one side. And let's just do the other side quickly. 1, 2. Alright, that is perfect. Okay, so this car is looking a little bit better with the wheels that we have on it. So yeah, I think these wheels are originally from a 3rd gen Firebird. I might be mistaken. Please do comment down below if I'm wrong, but I believe these are the turbocast wheels on the 3rd gen. So they actually work on this car for the look that I'm going for. So if you can just imagine this car painted nicely and all the rust removed, and yeah, we've got matching wheels all around now, so I think it'll look pretty nice. So yeah, now I'm going to turn my attention to getting the Lab Coupe over here sorted with interior bits, because I've had a couple of comments, and so far this comment that I'm following, it's I think from a guy named Runus. I'm not entirely sure, but he commented that I should go for white, but I decided to go with the black and grey mix. So I've got a grey rear bench over there, and we've got a black headliner. So that is definitely something that I'm going to try and see what it looks like, because remember, this is going to become a race car at some point. Alright, so let's see if we can get this sorted quickly. Let's get our sun visor. I think this is passenger side. Okay, let's zip that down. That is fine. Let's get the other one for the opposite side. Alright, so we can get this sorted. So I still haven't ordered all of the parts for this car. We still need a window winder over there, and I think there are some suspension parts that's worn a bit. So I've got the taillight over here and the one lower arm that we can replace now. But I'll have to definitely go through this car again and see what else we need to replace on it. But I think for the time being, this is just gonna be what it is. Alright, so we've got a new gear stick, so let's carry on by removing these old parts. I also do have a new dashboard that I want to install, but I'm gonna have to swap our cluster over because that has got the mileage on it, so yeah, we'll definitely use that. And I think also we've got a radio. I'm not too sure if that works, but we'll see. Alright, so let's carry on. We've got a gear stick over here. Alright, so that is fine. Let's see if we can get ourselves a wrench. I think I've got an extra wrench kicking around. There we go, we've got our extra wrench. Let's quickly start with the other bits over here. So let's take this off. So I think once this car is going to be turned into a race car, I will do a rear seat delete again. So this is just for now, temporarily. So this is going in. So we've got grey rear seat, we've got a grey gear stick and handbrake lever. And then we've got black door panels and a black dashboard as well. Alright, so there we go, that is sorted. Now let's get these old seats taken out. So I think the seats that I've got is actually, let's just tighten the handbrake. So yeah, the seats that I've got is actually a very nice contrast to the two colors that I'm going for over here. So once again, this is trash, so this can be dropped outside. And let's see if we can grab the other one out of the other side. So let's go around here. Alright, so let's get these bolts taken out. Alright, so this is also going outside, so that is going to be trashed. Alright, so we've got brand new seats over here. We've got the front right, which will go in here. Alright, so there we go, and let's put our driver's seat in as well. Let's get those bolts down. Alright, so there we go, that is done. So now for the door cards, see if we can pop these on. And we've got our back right panel over here, so we'll pop it in from this side. Okay, so there we go, that is sorted. And let's do our last two door panels over here. Well, the one door panel and the one left rear panel. Okay, so the other one we'll grab from this side and see if we can pop it in over there. Alright, so there we have our interior pretty much done, just the dashboard. So we'll grab our stereo and our gauge cluster from that. So let me quickly grab my pry tool over here. I think we also need a sports steering wheel for this car. Alright, so there's our radio and our cluster. Let's just put this back in the toolbox. Let's get our screwdriver again, and we will take out the dashboard. Alright. Okay, so we've got our old dashboard out. So that is probably also junk. We'll see what we do with those parts, because I don't think I'm going to keep around too many things, because obviously we need to move very soon. So the less parts we have laying around, the less we have to transport. Okay, so let's get this dashboard screwed in. Alright, so there we go. And then finally we can pop our cluster back in, as well as our radio. Alright, so that is pretty much the job done for today. So let's quickly do a little bit of a recap. So we've got our interior installed on the Lad. It actually looks good with the racing seats, black headliner, and we've got a beautiful black dashboard. We've got our grey rear bench as well as the grey gear shifter and handbrake lever. I am going to get myself a racing steering wheel, although now that I think of it, we actually have got this one in the NIF truck which we can swap for the Lab Coupe, so I think that'll actually work very nice, because then we've got a bigger steering wheel for our shop truck. So let's quickly swap these around. So let's drop that one in there, and then yeah, I think this is going to sort this out then. Yeah, that is looking much better for the little Lab Coupe. So I'll just come over here and put this one on our pickup truck over here, because obviously this isn't a race car, so that can roll with a stock steering wheel. We've got a nice Firebird steering wheel on there, so yeah, that is pretty much sorted. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I still need to do or that I can do. So what I'm going to do a little bit off camera is see if I can clean up the shop a little bit better. Start moving some of the stuff over to the house once the purchase has gone through, and then hopefully, yeah, the next episode will start off in our new house. We might have to move a little bit of furniture around still over to the house, but that is fine. So yes, that is going to be a wrap for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate every view and every like. And also remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I will appreciate it very much. But yeah, until the next time, cheerio.